Lubba dub dubs, sports fans. This is the Rideshare Commando, and I wanted to talk to you guys about cherry picking. So it's one of the driving strategies I use, and what I do with cherry picking is I isolate individual areas based on experience and hot zones. So when you get surges or boosts and so on, you want to hit those specific zones. So I take screenshots on the top of every hour for a week-long period. Those screenshots tell me where the surges and boosts are going to happen. From there, I take individual markers on Google Maps, and I will list out, each one according to what I believe that the demographic was. So, for example, one would be rich neighborhood. Another would be Amazon corporate office. Another would be Facebook corporate office, and so on. Now, by getting these little areas, you can isolate a 6 to 10 block radius around each one of those areas and know exactly where to gravitate to on Google Maps. Now, why do you do this? Well, there's a lot of dead zones. For example, over in Seattle, Washington on Elliott, there's a really long dead zone, about 3 miles. And if you get any rides on there, they're usually rides outside of that dead zone. So by mapping out exactly where you want to be, you can make yourself a lot more efficient. This is called cherry picking. Okay, another part of cherry picking is knowing where the Walmarts are. Walmarts, Targets or Target, or any of the supercenters. The reason you want to know where they are is if you're picking anybody up from, say, a Whole Foods, where you frequently, picked people up, or a Walmart, they're not going that far. They're going to they went to their nearest Walmart or supercenter, and they want to ride back home with some groceries, which they're going to take their sweet time loading up. Okay? Leave those to the amateur drivers. Leave those to the beginners, okay? Those people in it as a learning experience. But you don't need to get your pockets hurt, because when somebody has groceries, they will have no problem making you drive 12 minutes for a 2-minute ride. I'm not joking here. You know it, I know it. If you've been driving for a little while, you've run into these rides already, okay? So that's why you have to cherry pick. You have to know where not to drive and where to drive. Now, what I have the T-Mobile Sync-Up drive for my car. And the reason I have that, even if you don't buy the service for $15 a month, spend the $42 on it. It'll diagnose your computer and all of that, but it also lets you know about Geo Zones. There's an app that goes with it, and I have Geo Zones for about a 1-mile radius around every Walmart I can get to. And the reason being is whenever I'm in that mile radius, I turn it off. Every time. I'll turn the app off. And why? Because it doesn't affect my acceptance rate or my cancel rate to turn it off. And it gets me through that dead zone, through the danger zone, and back to where I want to be. So knowing how to cherry pick and how to select different areas, that's extremely important for being able to maintain. Like, I was pulling $30 an hour up until Christmas Eve and Christmas. Then I was doing about $40 an hour. Okay, that's very, very doable. And I pulled the $30 an hour for about 14 hours on Christmas Eve. Not joking. I drove 14 hours that day, and I made a killing. So I hope this helps you out. I'm going to give you another method tomorrow. But for now, whenever you get to a Walmart and you pick up somebody or drop them off, go back later on in your Google Maps and put a placeholder. Okay? If you have the sync-up drive, put a geo area. Okay, and that's built into the app. But know where to drive, like where to flock to when you're done with the ride, and where not to. You got to start mapping it out, otherwise you're going to be inefficient, and you're going to be killing time trying to figure out where to go to. And it helps to remember certain spots that were really good or that had really long rides. Remembering those spots, it's easy to forget when you get to like the perfect place, and then, oh man, what corner was that on? Wait, what side of town was it in? When you get caught up in ride after ride, So make sure to take a couple seconds after each ride that you believe was in a significant location and make a note. It's going to save you so much time. You'll be surprised. Once you start getting into it, once you start knowing where to drive and where not to, according to your own experience, you'd be surprised how much more money you're going to make. Anyway, y'all be safe. Be sure to subscribe. Leave a comment if you want. And if you want to sign up for the Lyft class action, if Lyft wrongfully deactivated you, then lyftclassaction@gmail.com, name, phone number, and brief description of why you were deactivated, or what explanation they gave you. Anyway, catch y'all later.